Hello, 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 hello. My name is Nakia. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing after you watch the video or right now. Now is good. On my channel, I talk about horror books, thriller books, of course, mystery, and a little sci-fi sprinkled in there. So hopefully this is something you're interested in. But for today's video, we are here to talk about what I plan to read in the month of April, which we're already into, so let's get to it. Yes. We are in the month of April. Today is the 4th. I usually only can record on the weekends. We do have more daylight now, but with full-time work, all that, it's a whole thing. So anyway, I record on the weekends. So usually my TBR videos and monthly wrap-ups will probably be like during the first week of the month. You could probably count on that, or second week. I guess this will go up the second week. You know what I mean. I'm actually already reading the first book I'm going to talk about, which is The One by John Mars. I have seen a lot of his books going around BookTube, Passengers. There's another one I can't think of right now, but this is one I was actually kind of reluctant to read because I was like, I don't know if I want to read that based on the premise, but I kept hearing a lot of people talk about it. There's a Netflix show, which I have not seen. I probably won't watch, but either way, I was just kind of like, let me see. I looked at the preview of it and I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. So I'll read a little bit of the synopsis for you. How far would you go to find the one? A simple DNA test is all it takes. Just a quick mouth swab and soon you'll be matched with your perfect partner, the one you're genetically made for. That's the promise made by Match Your DNA. A decade ago, the company announced that they had found the gene that pairs each of us with our soulmate. Since then, millions of people around the world have been matched, but the discovery has its downsides. Test results have led to the breakup of countless relationships and upended the traditional ideas of dating, romance, and love. So basically, as you heard, the premise is there is a gene that was found that can match you to your perfect soulmate. And it is chemistry. It's science. So what it says goes. But what compelled me to read this book was when I heard people talk about some of the things, some of the stories that go along with this. Honey. So it's basically like, I don't want to spoil some things, but what if you were matched with a serial killer? What if you were matched with someone you're not attracted to? What if you're matched with someone who's sick, could possibly be dying? These are all interesting things that are touched upon in this book and so much more. So it's just fascinating to me. It does get a little bit on the romancy side of things. So if you're not interested in that, you probably want to skip this book. It's not too much though, because I can't stand the romance stuff. So this doesn't bother me, but again, you may not want to read that. The chapters are so short. I'm already talking about it like this is my wrap up. What are you doing, Kia? I'm just, the chapters are short so far, so it's just keeping me flipping the pages. But of course, I don't have my official rating or anything yet because I'm about halfway into it. So you'll have to stay tuned for my April wrap up to see what I have to say officially. It's already said too much, so let's move on. Okay. Next up, I will be participating in my first group read. Yes. This one is hosted by Steve Talks About Books and Stuff. I will link his channel below. I was watching his video and he talked about this book that he was going to read in the month of March. And I was like, hey, that book is already on my TBR, so I want to join in. Why not? This group read is Ash and Stone, and the book that we are reading in the month of March is Neuromancer by William Gibson. This is a sci-fi book. I said in my January video or December, something like that. I think it was my January video that I was going to try to read more sci-fi this year. I started with Binti in January, which I enjoyed. So we're going to keep the sci-fi train going. And let me let you know what this one is about and why I decided to read it and all that good stuff. Because I got an old copy of this book from my library, it does not have the synopsis here. So I am going to read it to you from my trusty Kindle. Case was the sharpest data thief in the Matrix until he crossed the wrong people and they crippled his nervous system, banishing him from cyberspace. Now, a mysterious new employer has recruited him for a last chance run at an unthinkably powerful artificial intelligence. With a dead man riding shotgun and Molly, a mirror-eyed street samurai, to watch his back, Case is ready for the adventure that upped the ante on an entire genre of fiction. So, I mean, come on now. Action. We got, people on the run. I was like, okay, sounds like my kind of sci-fi. I want action or horror, suspense, thriller mixed with my sci-fi. And this sounds like the one for me. So hopefully I enjoyed it and it's not too sciencey of the fiction. That's what I like to say. But I'm looking forward to the group read along, and I will be participating in the live discussion, which is April 18th, I believe. So I will leave the information down below. As I said, you can check it out. Not too late to join in. And Steve is so cool, so nice. He even gives away copies if you don't have one, just so people can join in. He is just amazing. So that's what we are reading probably next week. And then next, your girl is confused. I don't know what to do because my library, a lot of the newer releases have a long wait list. So I just start putting them on hold because I'm just like, whatever, whenever I get them, I get them. And lo and behold, I got like 2 books at the same time that are new releases. And I was just like, oh, okay. And it also just coincided with the group read along that I was already planning to participate in. Okay, if my positioning is different, I'm sorry. I felt like something was in my eye. I was like, let me stop this because I can't focus clearly. Anyway. I am back. As I was saying, I put 2 books on hold, or I put a bunch on hold, but these are a couple of the new releases. And like I said, they just happen to be available right away. So now I don't know what to do because I have to read Neuromancer for the group live discussion on the 18th. And these books are due back on the 20th. So I will probably only get to 1, but the one that I don't get to, I'm going to return it and then get it again. So it'll probably be in my May book. But anyway, one of them I'm pretty sure I'm going to get to because it was in my most anticipated book releases video, which I will pop up here. And that is The Project by Courtney Summers. Yes, Summers with an S. This is a cult book. I will not go into too much detail because I think I read the whole synopsis in that video, so you can check that out. What I gather is that it's about a young lady named Lo. She's involved with this group called the Unity Project. Her family's involved. That's the cult aspect. Something happens to her. She ends up in the ICU, honey. I don't know. But first of all, you had me at cult because that always gets me. So I hope this is good. If you've read it, just let me know down in the comments if you thought it was good or not. I'm still going to read it because I want to see for myself, but I'm curious to know what you think because this is a new release. So there's not a lot of, people are saying things, but I'm trying not to check. But like I said, you could let me know in the comments. But anyway, so I am definitely going to read this as soon as I finish the one. The Neuromancer will be next. If I just so happen to be reading quickly and I can get to this next book, I will. Maybe return it a couple days late. But that would be What Big Teeth by Rose Zabo. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This is one that I have heard mixed reviews about, but I actually wasn't interested in it at first because I was kind of like, I don't care about a girl from a family of monsters or whatever. But then I watched Elizabeth Sagewood's video and she gave it a good synopsis that actually got me intrigued. And I just kept seeing people talk about it. So finally I was like, you know what? Can't hurt. Why not? Let's check it out. Worst case, I'll DNF it. That'll be that. So because I did not talk about this was not on my anticipated book releases. So I will give you a little bit of the synopsis. What you see isn't always what you get. Eleanor Zarin has been estranged from her wild, bloodthirsty family for years. When she flees boarding school after a horrifying incident, she goes to the only place she thinks is safe, the home she left behind. But when she gets there, she struggles to fit in with her monstrous relatives who prowl the woods around the family estate and read fortunes in the guts of birds. Eleanor finds herself desperately trying to hold the family together, all the while trying to make sense of a re-emerging power that seems increasingly linked to the reason she was sent away in the first place. There's a little more, but I think that's enough. So, again, I wasn't necessarily intrigued when I read the synopsis originally, but now I'm kind of like, okay. It's listed as horror, fantasy, God, what else is on there? But I don't usually read fantasy, so we'll see. Again, if I don't get to this month, I will probably get it again for May or June. So either way, this will be coming up. We'll see. But because that leaves me an extra week at the end of this month, in case I don't get to that and I have to return it back because I'm one of those people, I don't feel right having overdue books. I just don't. As soon as it's due or I see that little red overdue pop up, I'm like, no. We got to get this back. I can't do it. So in case that happens, I will have an extra week. I have a book left over from my March TBR video and list that I really wanted to get to because it's a thriller and I did not get any thrillers read in the month of March. So I already talked about this book in the March TBR video. You can check that out. But that is A Stranger in the House by Shari LaPena. And I read her book, An Unwanted Guest, in December, which I really, really enjoyed. So I was looking forward to reading something else from her. And this kind of had fit with my haunted house theme because it's about a woman who goes out and she has a car accident. And then after that, she remembers nothing. And she comes back home and things are just strange. And she's trying to tell her husband and he doesn't believe her or something like that. It doesn't matter. I was intrigued. It's not the typical domestic thriller because I don't care for those. The husband, wife, I thought I knew him or she's lying, blah, blah, blah. Those are not my thing. This one seemed a little intriguing. So if I don't get to What Big Teeth, which I probably won't, but I hope to read this, or I have another option. This is probably the most open-ended TBR I've ever had because I don't fully know what the hell I'm doing. But this book was probably my most anticipated thriller release of 2021. I bought it on my Kindle. I was just like, I can't wait. I don't know if my library's gonna get it, but I ain't got time. I need it now. That book would be The Jigsaw Man by Nadine Matheson. And she's also nice. Like I posted this on my Instagram and tagged her and she commented back and I've seen her respond to a lot of people. So she's really nice and sweet from what I can see. But yeah, this book is about a detective who investigates serial killers or whatever. And there's this one serial killer that goes by the Jigsaw Man who is in jail, but there is someone else out there who could possibly be a copycat. But then he's mad because he's like, I know there's not somebody trying to do what I was doing. So now she's trying to catch the copycat before the original serial killer, which I'm like, I guess he got some henchmen out there on the streets doing his dirty work or something. I don't know. I'm intrigued. We're gonna find out. But it's gonna be one of these books. So I don't know. You can let me know down in the comments which one you prefer that I read, A Stranger in the House or The Jigsaw Man. Which one? I already have a feeling which one you're gonna pick, but you know, choose wisely. No, I'm just joking. I probably will go with what you say because I'm here for you, for the people. So again, let me know which one you think I should read for my last week in April. And again, whichever one I don't get to in April, I will read eventually. If it's The Jigsaw Man, I'm reading this in May because I can't wait. If it's this one, I will get to it eventually because still more time in the year. So that wraps up my April TBR. I actually have a pretty substantial stack this month. Look at this. Lord, look at all this. Thumbnail. So yeah, we'll see how many I get to. Again, 4 is a good number for me, so that's what I'm aiming for. That wraps up this video. I hope you were entertained. If you didn't know about some of these books, hopefully you'll check them out or you're intrigued. And let me know what you plan to read or what you're most excited to read in this month of April. Or if you've already read a good book, let me know down below. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Until my next video, snuggle up in your hideaway with a good book, unplug as much as possible, especially from the news. Be kind to all kind, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.